The last time Heather Tessman saw her half-brother, she was a small child and he was an infant. When she grew up, she tried to find him but couldn't. But a month and a half ago, she did find him on the news after he'd set fire to the Connecticut house where he had grown up and was trying to escape. He told responders that he had been a virtual prisoner in that house since the age of 11 and that for all of those 21 years he had lived in torment. His sister learned from those news reports that now at the age of 32, her half-brother weighed just 69 pounds when the firefighters rescued him. The victim and his sister Heather share the same mother, a mother who gave up custody of both of them soon after they were born. Heather went into foster care and was later adopted, living the kind of life that her birth mom could not give her, a normal life. Her brother, however, had a very different upbringing. He was raised, if that's what you can call it, by his biological father and that man's wife, Kimberly Sullivan, the defendant. He and his sister Heather grew up just 15 minutes away from each other, but light years apart in every other sense. We've known for weeks about the unspeakable cruelty that brother says he endured every minute of every day in a house of horrors with his father and stepmother, but now we can actually see inside. Police in Waterbury, Connecticut have just released photos of that home, and they are as vile as we expected. Keep in mind, these pictures were taken after the victim set fire to the house in order to escape, and firefighters tried to knock that fire down. So you will see smoke damage, but that does not account for everything else you'll see. Certainly not for the filth and the locks that were fastened on the outside of doors. Kimberly Sullivan is now charged with assault, kidnapping, unlawful restraint, reckless endangerment, and cruelty to persons. And her attorney is none too pleased that these photos are making the rounds.
It was shocking, to say the least. I can't explain why it would be done. The only thing that we could think of is that it's clearly being done to sway public opinion. In 2005, the police went to the home. They spoke to the individual. They reported that he appeared healthy and happy, and that the residence appeared normal and lived in.
Happy and healthy 20 years ago. That is the best they can do? That lawyer's client is out on $300,000 bail, and my next guest thinks that that is an outrage. Heather Tessman joins me now, half-sister of the 69-pound man identified only in court papers as male victim 1. Heather, thank you so much for being on tonight to talk about this. What were your first thoughts when you heard the news about the fire and the rescue and the condition of your brother?
Well, I had first heard about what was going on via, like body cam footage on YouTube and all that. It was days later when our mom had gotten a hold of me and said, "Hey, we found your brother." It was this guy, and I was like, absolutely not. There's no way. There's no way. You just never in your wildest dreams or worst nightmare could ever even think that this would be a possibility of somebody you've been actively searching for forever.
Talk to me about that, Heather. You had tried to find him and you had reached out in the past. What was the reaction of your brother's family to your efforts to see him and to meet him and to engage as a sibling?
I was pretty much told to go away, and he wasn't there. So, as far as I was aware, he was out of high school, hopefully, and, living his own life away from these people.
But you were blocked.
That's all Huh?
You were blocked. They effectively said, no comment, no connection, be on your way.
Yeah, exactly. And if you get that direct, what are you supposed to do? There was nothing to find.
Now that you know this is what his life has been, all these years you grew up apart, have you had any luck in trying to reconnect as he tries to heal from what he's been through?
I have not had any luck, but it's not up to me at this point. It's up to him. 100%. I would love a relationship, but if he doesn't want that, I have to deal with that in my own time. But I've always wanted him, really.
Have the detectives in this case been helpful to you at all, informing you of anything that's been going on in the investigation going forward?
No. It's an active investigation, and I understand I haven't exactly been vetted, but it's like I said, not up to me.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about the pictures that we're all seeing. I know what my reaction is, but he's not my brother living in these conditions. What was your reaction?
I was horrified. I had a house fire when I was younger, so I understand what like regular house fire damage looks like, and it's a pigsty and very unhygienic. I'm horrified. I really am. It's what like a house you go to Urban Explorer in after it's been abandoned for 20 years looks like, not a lived-in house.
And then there are the locks that we can see on the outside of doors. That must be harrowing to know that that could be the circumstance he was looking at for 2 decades.
It's inhumane. There's no reason for it. I don't care how he was as a little kid. Nobody deserves locks on the outside of the doors. It's just subhuman.
Heather, I hope that you can reconnect with your brother at some point when he's well. I hope that there's some healing, certainly for him as well. And I wish you peace in your family. This has just been such a difficult story to report. And again, I'm not living it. So thank you for talking and sharing your story tonight.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Heather Tessman joining us tonight.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.